edition, and audio's live.
All right. Hello, and welcome to Fade to Obsidian, the podcast from the Howler's Den, looking at ships from the Red Rising saga, so relationships and spaceships. So we always start our podcast by asking our guests who they are, and we obviously everyone watching knows who you are, but explaining their Howler name. So we're going to quickly do a who we are, and then we're going to ask you, Pierce, who you are. So I am Skipper. I got my Howler name because I showed up drunk into the den the night of the Bacchanal and drank a little too much and agreed to sail everybody around North America, hence making me the Skipper. So Crescent, why are you Crescent?
I'm Crescent because I'm a big fan of pralines, and there's a large praline company down in Louisiana called the Crescent City Praline Company, and I carry a crescent wrench every single day of my life. So nice little unintended side meaning. How about you, Salem?
I'm Salem, and I actually was named by some personal friends of mine. For all of my witchy tendencies, they decided to grant me the name Salem.
Pierce, why are you Howler 1?
I guess because I have this.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can claim that I'm not, but I still have this. But by the end of this, I think you guys got to give me like a secondary name.
Oh.
So the people in the
that's
chat,
a big honor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
presuming I wasn't Howler 1, I'd have to have a name. So that is the challenge at the end of this. When we sign off, I will sign off as that.
I like it.
Right.
I like
Whatever it is, I will sign off.
Okay, noted. The other question we always ask is, what are you drinking tonight?
Me? I'm drinking
Yeah,
Casamigos Reposado tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been getting heartburn from the whiskeys, so I've had to ease back a little bit. I know Lauren will be disappointed, but here we are.
I know, well, they have a fancy drink they'll explain in a moment, but I only just got into Halifax because I'm on vacation, and I do have the Lagavulin because it was the easiest thing for me to get.
Yeah.
Brand new bottle.
Still some of that rattling around what is it? Never mind. Spoiler shit. Never mind. Forget.
Ooh.
Sorry.
All right. Crescent and Salem, what do you guys have?
We both are drinking the Fabled Spirits drink that they made for us, the Ragnar, and it is mostly alcohol.
Almost exclusively alcohol.
I think the only thing is the lemon juice and
simple syrup.
Simple syrup.
Right, this will get interesting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And my backup drink is a special edition 12-year-old Lagavulin.
Look at you guys, disciples of Arcos, all.
Yes. Love it.
Well, we knew what we were getting into, so
fair enough.
We had to step up.
All right.
Okay. So from our beginning list, we were just talking about how we named the people of the den. That way we're not just going by usernames, so we give them Howler names. We have a big long list of a questionnaire that they fill out so that we can get to know them better. And if we can't base something off of that, we'll wait till conversation later happens. So we pulled 3 questions from that big long list.
This is fitting. Good. So I get to answer. Is this rapid fire?
You get to answer them.
My time.
You can take your time.
I mean, they're kind of open-ended, so.
Okay.
First question. In case of a zombie apocalypse, how are you prepared? If we're all teaming up, what do you bring to the team?
Besides someone to chronicle the journey and the victories and the defeats and to lend a narrative to an otherwise hideous future, I bring fire starting skills. I have quite a few earthquake bags in my house, and I have a zombie chopper. And as you guys know, I have a very, very intimidating guard dog. She's 20 pounds of twisted steel and sex appeal. That's what I bring.
Love it.
Question number 2 is, if you could have any mundane superpower, like always hitting green lights or getting the best parking spots, what would it be? Or do you already have one? And what is it and why?
Oh, I mean, it's hard not to go with green lights, isn't it? Um, that said, no, I'd have the superpower of making anyone at any time be able to, they would spill their drink and just twitch a finger. And so, but
Ooh,
this is a remote power.
That is a
Um,
howler power.
it'd be great. I would, and I do it all the time, like via the television. Whenever someone's being smug or something, red wine on the shirt, be great.
that's
I'd be a,
fabulous. I
I
like
That's
like
I'd
a
that.
be,
that one.
yeah, I'd be a typhoon of mischief.
Yeah, I like it. All right, last question for this section is you have sold your soul to the devil. What did you sell it for?
Pulse boots. No,
Oh,
grab boots. Sorry, pulse boots,
yeah.
grab boots. Same difference. They started as pulse boots. Then I was like, let's gravity, grab boots. No, it would probably be the ability to once a week rewind time 15 minutes. You can only use it once a week though. Because I can't, get into a loop of power abuse here, be too much if you could do it all the time. But once a week, I'd like, no, twice a week. I mean, it is my
Twice a week.
soul, it is the devil. Yeah. So twice a week. Yeah.
I like it.
Right? I
Yeah.
could do much with that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. All right. Well, some getting to know you questions. So it looks like you've been traveling a lot recently. What is your favorite place that you've traveled so far?
Ever?
Ever?
Hmm. I want to say something super exotic, but honestly, the Cascade Mountains of Washington are really up there for me. I feel really at peace there. But I think that Greece would probably be my overall favorite. Just when that sunlight hits you and you're in the amongst the ruins of a lot of the stuff I read about as a kid, it's pretty special. Yeah,
What's your
or
favorite
or
spot up in the
or the west
Cascades?
or the west coast of Turkey because there's the town
Mm.
Ephesus there. That's pretty neat. Favorite spot? Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you off the top of my head because I did no, I only gone up there twice, and it's recent. I spent more time in the Olympic Peninsula, uh,
Mm.
hiking around the Hoh Rainforest and on the coast, and doing the I think it's the Seven Lakes hike. Is that? I think
Oh,
that's Olympic. Yeah,
yeah, I think that's up
and
there.
yeah. Seven Lakes was really nice. I did that loop for a couple times because my folks used to have a house out there. But then I went up with my friend Nathan Phillips, Joel Phillips's brother, and we did a hike last year and saw 11 black bears in these like
Oh,
blueberry fields, and yeah, it was just this nice little
Oh,
respite in the middle of writing because I was pretty deep in the book at that point, and so halcyon memories. But apparently, I don't remember the name of the place I went. If Nathan, I could phone a friend, but yeah,
nice.
cool.
All right.
cool.
Well,
Hopefully, that helps in lending me a name.
Yeah.
Yes. I can see the
the
chat
yeah,
and
the
they're
YouTube
they're
chat is
heavy
going
on
off
it.
about it.
They're
They're heavy on it. Good, good. I wish I could
So
side eye it at the same time, but then I'd become performative. So I'm trusting you.
Yeah.
Mm,
Crescent, you
all
got
right,
something for me?
next, yeah,
yeah.
next
Yeah.
question. If it doesn't compromise your privacy, what is the most interesting thing you can see out your office window?
Ooh. Wow. It depends. So I live with hills around me, and sometimes there are some very interesting things happening through windows. I mean, I don't have a telescope or anything pointed that direction. It's pointed up at the moon because I'm not a creeper. But I would say that sometimes you see some very funny parties uh, of two. So that would be the most interesting, probably. Or perhaps the coyotes who come around and like just seem like they're waiting outside, kind of like the jackals from The Lion King for my um, guard dog. I think
Oh,
they think she's pretty or looks tasty. One of the two.
one of the
Maybe
two.
both.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah.
Oh,
Um,
excellent.
and then we have a special little feature that we asked a bunch of people from in the den what burning questions they had for you. So this one was a good getting to know you, and this is from Scarlett.
What was your first D&D character's lineage and class?
Uh, mine was a not was it a pacifist uh, uh, warrior, so it would have been a barbarian. Gosh, it was like 12. Pacifist barbarian. I went for some contrast. Their lineage, I don't really remember. I think they were from like I think I based it off of Conan the Barbarian. So he was a lineage of like conquerors. I thought Conan was a conqueror back then. I'm not sure if he actually is, according to canon. But yeah, he wasn't very useful though because he was a pacifist and he was too big to do much, and he didn't have really relevant skills. Like he could be violent. He had great capacity for it. He had like 18 strength or whatever. But so I'd break down doors mostly or like lift boulders out of the way. I couldn't fight anyone. It was pretty worthless. To be honest, it was a really boring campaign for me.
And then there's
A
a part
utility
2.
barbarian. Never
Yeah.
heard
So
one of
Well, I
those
what's
was
your
before.
I was very literal.
favorite
My first short story was Journey to the Bottom of the Earth because I was plagiarizing Journey to the Center of the Earth and I didn't
Oh.
really realize the Earth technically wouldn't have a bottom then, anyway.
It's only got a
Okay,
bottom
and
if
then
it's
there's a
flat, right?
Yeah. I
yeah.
was 5.
There's a part there's a part 2.
Also, what's your favorite D&D character you've ever played?
Oh, that's always has to be the Bard. Um, I haven't played D&D in quite a long time, but Avery and the Bard was funny. He wielded the dual violins because he had such dexterity. He could play 2 violins at once. No,
Oh,
yeah, he was very popular with the non-player characters we encountered.
I can only
As
imagine.
bards
Yeah.
tend to be.
hmm Who doesn't love a
Um,
man with clever fingers?
There you go.
and then the
Dexterous.
last
Shopkeepers. That's who.
True.
the last portion of this
Is
is a question that I'm piggybacking off of is
Mm.
we've heard you've been looking into playing a campaign again. Do you already have a character you've created that you want to play?
No, I think that otherwise I'll overthink it, and it's kind of like I never know really what I'm going to order on a menu until there's the waiter standing over you, and you're looking up at them and you're terrified of balking. So then you really figure out what you want, and then you shout after them about 5 seconds after they've left. No, but I really want the Caesar salad. So I will do that with my character. It'll be in the moment, and it has to be whimsical, and I may regret it later, but it has to be like that because I'm a pantser.
Nice. Just to shout out to the chat, the leading howler name at the moment, or at least what
Mm.
they're talking about, is Bardbarian. To combine those two,
Oh,
they're going on about that one right now.
Oh no.
wow.
So we'll let
Uh,
them continue to stew,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that's in
I think I should write my
I've,
next book with like a chat in the corner. Every 30 minutes I get to critique what I'm doing, and it'd be so much funnier.
there. Oh my god.
I'd also go
I've,
insane, but the price we pay for creativity.
Yeah.
I've also seen Scrivener come up.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Do not bring up Scrivener. Scrivener is the reason this book is like so much delayed. I wrote on Scrivener, and it was horrific. A horrific experience for me.
Oh.
I'm not even joking. It was like, well, I would say that it ate up about a year and a half of like time because Scrivener's not like for some reason seeing those thumbnails of all the chapters made me turn me into an editor instead of a writer, and it was awful. So can't be Scrivener. I like
Hey.
Barbarian. Barbarian's in the lead. If you guys can do better, great. But
You heard the
no
man.
Scrivener. No Scrivener.
Yeah,
Fuck
get on
Scrivener.
that.
I mean, I'm about to fight something.
7 other drink, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I drank all my tequila. I want to be lucid for you guys.
All right, fair enough.
Well, that makes
It is
one
all
less.
right that I feel angry. Do not fight the anger. This feeling is valid. Okay. There we go.
Right.
All right.
I like it.
Next one. If we were to read something other than Red Rising as a group in the den, what books would you recommend?
Ooh. Ender's Game. It's so fun. So fun. I think a lot of us read it when we were kids. It'd be fun to like look back on it and see the critique of the military industrial establishment, I think Ender's Game would be great. Or something like something that rings a bell for everyone. Like, some people will be new to it, but if it's nostalgic, I find it's more fun because you can then discuss how it's changed since you read it when you were younger. Plus, the Venn diagram of Ender's Game and Red Rising is pretty similar, so I imagine most people, would be interested in it.
Yeah, I feel like while we
Absolutely.
go through, we've been doing the read along, and a lot of people have pulled out Ender's Game and Dune as the two that like really stand out of.
Yeah, Dune doesn't crackle as a read, though.
Mhm.
I love Dune. Read it quite a few times, and I don't know if it stimulated the excitement and discussion the same way. It could actually. It might be theoretical discussions. There's a lot of heady stuff in there that might be really fun.
Right.
Oh, actually, 50 Shades of Grey.
Definitely.
That's the
We
Rose
are called
Garden.
we're called Fade
Yeah.
to Obsidian because it's the sex scenes don't actually appear. That one would completely change. We'd have to rename the podcast.
I'm just saying, what stimulates conversation like a little discomfort.
Yeah, we do have a Rose Garden chat that is 18 plus, so we'll just
Ah,
stick it in there.
NSFW.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
interesting.
Yeah. We'll stick that one in there.
I'm not going to
Yep.
poke around and look what's going on in there after this. No, I'm not. I'm going to go play with my dog.
It's
Yeah,
fine. We totally
totally.
didn't give you complete and utter Imperium over the game.
Yeah, yeah. I want to see what you sick
Oh.
and twisted people are up to.
Yeah.
I'm a Snoopy barbarian, okay?
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any other getting to know you
No,
questions?
no, I'm good.
Okay.
What's the
All
best
right, you know
name
me
you
Then
were ever
now. We
given?
can proceed. We can proceed.
Yeah,
Good God. I'm allowed into the inner sanctum now, guys? It is me.
yes, yes.
This is not AI me. Though in 5 years, you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Yeah. It's getting scary that way, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, pretty soon you guys will be able to put basically a writing prompt into Chat GPT and like have all the sequels you want to Red Rising.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna be really crazy.
It's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I
dislike.
gotta hurry. Well, I still have a job.
Yeah.
If it doesn't come from you, I don't want it.
Yeah.
Oh, sweetie. Just what to say. I love it. Yeah, we're gonna have books and it'll be, I swear to God, this will happen. It'll be like organic book on the cover. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
No.
Weird, right?
Very weird.
All right,
Right.
moving on to some of the other den burning questions. So, of course, now it's all coming to books. And I have one from Valkyria.
I love languages and I would like to know what the languages of the society sound like.
Variable. Every every planet would have a different pronunciation of words and different accent, as would each probably continent on each planet. Um, in my head, the certain areas, some of the smaller cities on the continent where Aegea is located, were colonized by the English. So, like Yorkton, and they would have accents that are reminiscent, of English accents. However, it's kind of a flawed concept because studies kind of have shown that English, American English sounds more like what the British English would have sounded like in the 1700s, and so things change with time. So I would say use your imagination as most as possible. For me, the Reds always had an Irish brogue to them, mostly because in the history of the Red Rising world, the first Reds were the Irish after they had to leave Ireland due to the nuking of the United Kingdom. And so the radiation forced them to become a migrant workforce. And that was emulating, of course, the Irish immigration to the United States in the 1800s. And so for me, the Reds always had that kind of Irish brogue to them. And since they're in a closed ecosystem, I imagine that their accents wouldn't evolve as much as people on the surface. As far as when you get out to the Rim territories, in my mind, the Raz, according to Red Rising lore, were a mixture of South African and Japanese descent, and so whatever that accent sounds like, I don't know. But the thing is, and the interesting thing about it, and it's fun, is that Red Rising is basically a transliteration, or a translation rather, because they're speaking Common, they're not speaking English. English is referenced as a dead language. Obviously, it's written in English because I speak English and I don't speak Common. But I wanted something where, in Rome, since the society is based off Rome, and you have the Pax Romana, you had a sort of homogenization of culture during that time period. And what I wanted was to have a common language and not be that. I mean, you already have the colors that are showing differences between people, characters. You already have the planets they're from showing character differences. I didn't want language to impede as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully that answers your question.
Great.
Mm-hmm. Next one comes from Tower. So, is there a reference or Easter egg or act of foreshadowing that you're particularly proud of that no one's caught yet?
Yes.
Is it one that you can share or are
No.
willing to share?
No one's caught it yet. No.
How many?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, how many and in what books so we can do a deep dive?
Here's the thing. I've got a few, but I also don't know what you guys are discussing in that rose garden of yours, so you might have gotten it. You might have seen through the subtext and known that it's not going to end. It's going to end with a bang. Never mind. I was gonna say it's gonna end in this huge orgy, and that's how the book ends. And I'm like, no, that's too gross. I'm gonna say it ends with a bang, and I'm like, then I laughed. Sorry. A lot of bangs.
No, we're listed as 18 plus on YouTube.
Yeah.
So
okay, good. Yeah. I'd say there's a few out there. It's funny. Like my exposure to fan theories is pretty much limited to interactions like this or things in person. Because I, stay away from Reddit and other places because it can throw you off the scent of your own hunt sometimes if you're looking at fan theories. I think, if you look at how the latter seasons of Game of Thrones turned out, you can see that they're paying a little too much attention to some fan theories. And I don't want that kind of, for lack of a better word, pollution, because it can really make you unconfident as a writer. There's a few though that I don't think anyone's sussed out quite yet. That's part of the fun thing about the interactions to me. Everything becomes novel. So when someone notices something that, like an inside joke or a little detail that no one else has brought up before, it can be really fun for me.
Yeah, now we're gonna have to do another reread, and just every word you say will be overanalyzed.
Sure, we will be Charlie Day with the board.
Yeah, exactly. Good luck figuring out what the red herrings are.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, and then this one is from Rocket.
Does Kavix carry Sophocles in a battle-proof baby Bjorn when it's time to fight?
You'll see.
All right.
I like that answer. That's a good one.
Astute observation. It would make sense since, Victor has maternity armor. The Kavix would have Sophocles armor.
Right? I'm just thinking those, the cat backpacks people have with the little dome.
Can see outside.
Interesting thought.
Little Duro glass viewport.
Nah, here's the weird thing about Sophocles I've never mentioned. He has opposable thumbs, so there's an area for him to shoot out of, right? Yeah.
You guys heard it here first. It's canon now.
Yeah, to hear first. Little Rocket the raccoon. Who's that raccoon in Guardians? Is it Rocket? Yeah.
Fitting.
I like it.
No, Sophocles is a pacifist, except against jelly beans.
Okay.
Oh, so he doesn't like jelly beans. He hates jelly beans.
Jelly beans and pacabells, spy birds. Yeah.
Yeah. I like it.
Next one actually comes from me. Pax and Helga. Can we get a little elaboration?
We
got a little bit in Red Rising, but
well, let's just say, certain characters, you meet them along the way and they feel like they have a lot of evolving to do. Like a lot of the characters are still boys. I'll just say that Helga made Pax a man.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. We'll take that to the Rose Garden.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, otherwise you will get into a discussion of the physical limitations of being as big as Pax, and so he has to find a matching pair.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
I'll
Yep.
see everyone in the Rose Garden. These questions, guys, steer me away from perversity. Where are you guiding me? Why are you doing this? It's you
All right.
three. It's you people in your flock. I'm the innocent sweet one over here.
Yeah,
sure. Okay.
totally.
You have written several in Victra.
No, they just I feel like they really just write themselves. I hate it when authors say that. Ugh.
It just comes to you naturally.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right. Well, completely different is a question. My burning question is because when I saw you for Iron Gold, I asked a question about dragons, and then we got dragons in Dark Age. So my
Yeah.
question now is which mythical creature does not exist in the Red Rising? Like what is the capacity of either the carvers or they're at like why would you need, let's say, the Kraken? Why would you make the Kraken? Or does the Kraken exist? So what does not exist?
What exists is as diverse as people's interests, and I find people's interests are quite diverse. Ergo, everything exists. Um,
Okay.
why wouldn't they? They'd be like, "Can I write a Scylla?" I think that's how you pronounce it. Can I make a harpy? Right? I would say probably actual gorgons do not exist. There we go.
Okay.
Right.
Fair.
But that,
Yep.
that was just a thinly veiled shot at women 2,500 years ago. So
Yeah.
let's be honest. Misogyny still exists in the Red Rising world. It's just not literal gorgons.
Right. I like
Sure.
it. All right. So the Kraken exists then. It could.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
what is that? It's like Schrodinger's cat, right? If it's not written, if it's not said, it doesn't
Who
exist. But it's not
knows?
said, it exists. Yeah.
Okay. Salem, over to you.
Next is mine.
Yeah.
All right. So we know that Darrow shares your birthday. What are some of the other characters' birthdays?
I don't know. It's written in a notebook around here somewhere. I don't know. I don't even remember my friends' birthdays. Like I barely remember. Like it's a source of great woe. Like shit. I took my best girlfriend out on her birthday. Uh, did not knowing it was her birthday. Talked to her the entire night about my problems, and then when the bill came, it said we'll split it, right? Like usual. And she just burst out crying and said, "It's my birthday!" This was 9 years ago, and like weeks before her birthday, every year she's like, "My birthday's coming up, right?" So I rely on calendar reminders. So I mean, I have everyone's birthday, just I don't fucking know.
Yeah. I like
Fair enough.
Some people that's that question I don't get. Some people are so detail like oriented, like my sister. Like, how was your day? And she'll take me through the entire day, and she'll ask me, "How was your day?" And I'll be like, "It was good," or "It was shit." And then she'll like go into details, and I'm like, I'd rather not." Like, I don't even understand why you'd ask that question, but I get it because your brains work differently. But I just don't.
Yeah.
It's wild. We're all so different. What's Harry Potter's birthday? I missed that on a trivia
July
game.
31st.
July 31st.
So you're that kind of brain, huh? Is that your question? That was a test. You failed.
My question.
It's just the
It's
day
her
before the
question.
9th.
You too.
I just know everything.
Oh,
I do a lot of trivia. That's why I know
you
it.
a lot. July 31st, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to
Okay.
be confused, which J.K. Rowling's is also July 31st, but Neville Longbottom's is July 30th. Just for the record.
Really creative of her.
Okay, and then we've got another question from Valkyria.
Hi Piers, which character did you enjoy writing the most?
Victor is always the one I never have to rewrite. I always have to rewrite Severo. Not on the first one. The first one I didn't have to rewrite Severo. He was the most fun on the first one. And then people started liking him way more than I thought they would. And so it became really important for me to not change him and make him like too much comic relief or, well, alter him just to please fans or readers. I'd say Victra because from the get, like I don't think I've ever had to rewrite much of what she said. And I just also of all the characters, at first I didn't understand her character. I wrote her actually as a boy, and then I changed her as a girl and didn't really have to change her character. I didn't change her character at all. I changed her sex, but I didn't have to change her character, and that's what I think is really fun. Because that's how I try to write women. I just try to write them as if gender, how to say it, as if gender were like the little eighth thing on their mind. Um, as was the first. So I think Victor because she's just how to say it, unmalleable. She declares what she is, and she's really fun to write like because of that. And so, of course, she can have subtext behind that, but and that's also fun to learn in the moment, like how she would react to things. But I'd say her or how to say Ephraim was a lot of fun. Ephraim was a lot of fun because he was kind of just like my more pessimistic id. It's like if I was yeah, I always ask this question to friends. If magic, if you could choose between magic existing, but you don't get to have it, like Harry Potter world existing, but you're not invited, you're a muggle, or it not existing, which would you choose? And almost unilaterally, people choose, or unanimously, people choose, they'd rather magic not exist. And that's how I always wrote Ephraim as like, fuck, like, really cool being a gold, but I'm not one, so I wish they didn't exist. And that was very easy to find his voice.
Like
I got
that.
another one from.
Okay. This one is a 3-part because it's a long one. And it's from Meringue.
I'll
Were
take
there any
notes.
scenes you were looking forward to writing the most or anticipating readers' reactions?
In the original 5, the reveal of Ares was quite fun. I like the reveal of Ares. My favorite to write was Darrow seeing his mom again. Oddly enough, like the battle scenes can be cathartic, but usually I'm trying to keep track of so much stuff that it's difficult to enjoy it. But the Darrow's mom scene, I just knew exactly the beat I was going to hit, that she recognized him without him having to say who he was. And even saying that now, like 8 years after writing it, gave me this weird, that weird pump, like pressure you get in your chest before you're about to cry. It's just an emotion that really rings deep for me. So that one was really nice, and I never had to rewrite that scene. I'd also actually, for battles, the original Iron Rain in Golden Sun, I didn't really change that structure of that battle at all. I wanted it to be like in a movie, as if you were steady, you were single shot camming it with Darrow on the way down, and just seeing everything he sees in passing. It's all the stuff that had been mentioned, and I'd laid a lot of seeds for it before. Like the first mention, the Telemonases, and say that they're like basically bred to fall in an iron rain. And so it was this thing that I come up with that I didn't know if I'd ever get to use it, because I didn't know I'd sell Red Rising. And so then getting to use it in Golden Sun when I was still a very young writer, and knowing that I had a world to build, to populate, that was really fun. So the realization of an Iron Rain was great. And then I would say also, because there's quite a few that come to mind when you really think about it, I'd say the Ragnar death scene was really important to write to me. Like when he said, "I'll build a house for you in the Vale, but don't hurry, I'm no builder." It was like, oh fuck, because it was just I like it in a story when the protector is taken away, you know. And the thing was, when Ragnar's around, Darrow felt so safe, and he hadn't felt that in a long time. And taking him away really challenged him and Severo to find the emotional light. So that was a moment I was very much looking forward to. I'm not looking forward to write. It just it felt natural in the moment. I didn't plan to kill Ragnar there, but it felt very natural to let me introduce you to my people, then strip him away. and all of a sudden you're going to the home of a guy you loved and who's important to you, and meeting his family who's scary as hell, and you have basically no translator, you know, and his sister has been taking a vow of silence to never speak until he returns, and he dies, and you're like covered in his blood. Like, what the hell do you do? So that was a really fun scene to write as well.
Part 2.
Side question: was Victor beating the shit out of
sorry.
Antonia at least a little therapeutic?
The Triumph, Golden Sun. Sorry, the Golden Sun was filled with a lot of
no,
moments
go
like
for it.
this. The Triumph and Golden Sun, because I originally wrote it and it was a wedding, and I sent it to my editor, and he was, I knew it wasn't good, and then I had this burst of inspiration, borrowing from Rome the Triumph side of things, and then writing that and sending it to him without explaining it and telling him it was coming. My buddy Mike, he's one of my best friends, and when he read it, he just called me and he was like, "Holy fucking shit," and that was so fun because I wrote it in one day and I was just like possessed. That was so fun, yeah.
Nice.
And then also Darrow with the Drachenjägers or Jägendrakkers in Dark Age, going through the Flower Latfundias. Oof, that was fun. Just Alexander being by his side and like him seeing Alexander rising, and Darrow complimenting another guy and his like a younger someone he's taught how'd I say it ability at war, and then like he then hammering the standards onto the Jägendrakkers. I thought that was so cool.
I love it.
I'll go on all day. I get really I get really into it. Yeah, that's the fun thing
Okay.
about writing is because it's basically like it's creating a world then asking people to come help make it more real for you. So you end up being like a fan of the stuff itself. Like you hope it's good, but like you really don't know. You just get really excited about the moments, and about the world, trying to like, almost like you're watching a movie in your head sometimes.
Last other ones. Is that it?
The other question. Yeah. Did Victor beat the hell out of Antonia sometime? I'm sure.
No. Hold on.
Side question: was Victor beating the shit out of Antonia at least a little therapeutic?
For you to write,
yeah.
I think is the...
For you to, yeah.
For you.
Oh yeah. For me to write, for sure. Because until then you just thought Antonia was representing that family, and you're like, what a broken family. And Victor is it's basically like 32 years of pent up rage at her sister. Like, why are you like this? Yeah. Not therapeutic in the sense that I want to hit my sister. I gave her enough bloody noses when we were kids. I'm good on that.
Poor player.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. My tormentor.
Oh.
All right, and then we've got a part 3.
And any scenes you were dreading or procrastinating to write?
I'll often procrastinate battles, simply because there's so many ways to go about it, and it's the old Robert Frost adage, 2 roads diverge in a wood. But the problem is it's not 2 roads, it's 50 roads, and then there's 50 roads off each road, and then 50 more roads, and you're like, what's the best way to do a battle and have the physical actions match up with the emotional arcs and match up with the thematic arc? So how do you do all 3 of those things? And so a lot of times I'll delay that. And honestly, when I figure out a battle, because all the violence in Red Rising hopefully is doing all 3 of those things at once, that's when I really start understanding the book, kind of like laying a flagpole in it, understanding it. But often I'll procrastinate those battles because I want it to be visceral. I want you to understand what's going on. I want it to be big, but it also has to be immediate and first-person perspective. So they're very challenging. Oh, also you have to be interested in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because I would just write. I read like military history and military historical fiction. So I just write something that's super interesting to like the type of people who read those books. But how do you get everyone into it? I'll read like a 1,000-page book on Napoleon's campaigns, just like, and I'm curious about how much how many oxen it takes to feed 100,000 man army, and that's not always interesting to most people. So it's like, how do you boil it down to its essential elements and keep the book ripping?
Okay, next
Tell
one.
me your question.
This one's from me. It's potentially a very fast question, potentially not.
Okay.
So you say, or Roke says that Darrow lost him when Quinn died. When does he actively start working for Octavia / the Society?
Let me think. I'd say he started making inroads throughout the book. It's actually after Darrow sedates him at the gala.
Mm.
When the emotional shift happens. When Quinn dies, I would say that's, how would I say it? Both of those moments combined really, really do it for Roke. Roke might think that it's when Quinn died, but I think it's really when. That was the blade. My toes are up.
It's good.
I would say that, how would I say it? Just because a character says it doesn't mean it's true. My thing is, I think it was the violation he felt that Darrow would make a choice for him and think of him like that he has the jurisdiction to sedate him, and to take over his autonomy. Look at Gold's, like, Lysander's big thing is choice. It's not that it's that he needs a choice. He hates being a puppet more than anything else in the world. And why? It's because it robs him of his choice, his autonomy. And they're so entitled, they think that, that's their natural God-given right. Now, of course, we come at it from a different perspective, thinking it's all our natural God-given right, or the Constitution given right. But I'd say with Roke, it was really when Darrow did that. So I'd say that he was actively making inroads throughout the book. Yet I don't think he really moved on it until the after the Wolf Rain, the Iron Rain on Mars. And that's when he became very active in it. So I think he was probably feeling it out behind the scenes, working contacts, in my mind, working contacts that he had that were kind of, deep aristocracy contacts, or deep peerless contacts, and wondering if he would have a home if he decided to go against Darrow, you know. Yeah, so for me it's that, but then, when he got that, so he already had that kind of in his mind, but the real thing that gave him the impetus to do the betrayal was the information from the Jackal about Darrow's identity. And I think that's when he put the plan into action. But I think he was feeling it out like a loyalist, seeing if he had a home on the other side, and then kind of like also making sure that he doesn't want to die for the society. He doesn't want to if he doesn't have to. So he's making sure that he has a command and a place. It's funny going back over this because who wrote that? Gosh, 2015, 14. Yeah.
How
Hi, EO.
often?
I know you got to poo.
Oh, EO.
You guys want to visit? EO visit.
Heck yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
They're
think
going to
there's a
get
bingo
excited.
square
They have
about that.
bingo cards that people are playing bingo, and EO is a bingo square.
is
So
she?
everyone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Howler pet
And the
popping in
bow
as well.
tie! And
She
bow
dressed up.
tie
She
is
dressed up for you
Bow tie.
guys.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, she won't wear clothing, but she'll wear a bow tie. Hi, sweetie.
Oh
If
my
I put her
God.
in a sweater or anything, she will just freeze and not move out of protest for like an hour. She'll just stand there, and you can leave her, go make a meal or something, come back, and she's still standing there looking at you like you've, burned her village. But the bow tie she likes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. In one thing, we get two things off the bingo card.
Yep.
So there you go.
What do you think, Yo? Hi. Got some bogeys.
EO, what's your opinion on Roke?
She's pro pets. She's
Oh,
pro
yeah.
getting pets and strokes, and I think her and Roke would have gotten along, as long as she didn't voice her red sympathies.
Fair. Fair. I like it. All right.
She would have been more loyal to Roke than Amathea, is what you're saying.
Yes, yes, very. Unless someone had treats.
Fair.
The allegiance.
I think her favorite would have been Ragnar. I think though.
Yeah.
Then
Favorite's
Ragnar
Ragnar.
Sophocles. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then we've got Could be a two-part, but we'll see. So this is from Allegro.
If you could go back and reverse any character's death, who would it be and why?
I wouldn't go back and reverse anyone's, but if I had to, Tactus. It'd been really fun to see Tactus play against the Minotaur.
Oh.
And this question will always change. I've been asked that a bunch of times, and it's always changed. But Tactus now.
I think
You
for
agree with
us,
Tactus?
for us, we had a really big discussion on Tactus when we were going through
What
the
do you-
reread.
Did you guys come up with a consensus?
No, I don't
I
think
don't
we
know
ever.
if that's.
The Den has ever
Well-
come up with a consensus on a
No.
character.
Yeah, some people will never like Tactus
Yeah.
because of the things he's done. Other people want to see the best in people, and other people like having the bad guy on your side. You know, it's an interesting one. It's kind of like Roke, except Tactus is a bit more obvious, more obviously grotesque, but probably better political leanings in the end. Roke, for instance, would morally pretty good, but pretty shady when it comes down to his politics.
Ask
All
part
right,
two
part
anyway.
two.
What do you think?
Alternatively, if you could go back and change one character's death, who would it be and why?
As in, change the method.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would. I wouldn't. That's just it. Like, you can't do a perfect death for everyone. You also don't want to do a sniper's bullet out of nowhere or a bomb, out of nowhere. Because while those things are realistic and they don't feel satisfying, I contemplate very hard how I'm going to kill characters. Like killing Vixis, for instance, very quickly and like dismissively in the elevator for Darrow, the grab lift for Darrow, was very satisfying. So I wouldn't have him, I wouldn't, while, it might be fascinating to see him get eaten by pit vipers, I would still have him killed dismissively in an elevator because that means more for his character. I think Lorne would be the one that I'd really want to milk. So many consequential characters die in the Triumph, and in horror movies, I always get a little annoyed when they kill 3 characters in one scene because I'm like, damn, then now we don't have more creative ways for people to die. It would have been really, while I think it was the best answer for Lorne in the moment, because it's about, we don't get the catharsis for knowing how badass Lorne is. We don't really get to see him in action. I think that it would have been really fun to get to see him in action and him laying waste, like, an entire army basically, or 20 people, or trying to. I still think that it does more for the story that we don't get to see that, and I think it does more for the myth of Lorne. But if I had like a month to figure out Lorne's death, that would have been a fun one to see. Him fighting Aja, or even Darrow, perhaps. Imagine if Darrow had to kill Lorne. I think those would be the interesting things to do. Like, that's the one way I thought I was going to kill Lorne for some time. Not it was never decided. But I thought for some time that I thought Darrow was going to have to face Lorne and kill him, and how difficult that would be for him.
That'd be super interesting to see.
Be super
Yep.
interesting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it would be like a 12-page fight scene. Basically,
Yeah,
chess.
right. Yeah. I think like the hope you have against Lorne is like hope he gets tired.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like it used to.
No.
Okay, and then our last, more longer-winded questions is one from me.
Mhm.
If you can say it, what is your favorite quote or line from Lightbringer?
Okay, here's one. See if I can remember it. Victor says it. They come for our children. Don't fear for me. Instead, pity them. That's my favorite.
Look out for
Approval,
Yeah.
Crescent. Approval.
Yeah.
Yeah, that Victor moment was
Not
fun
there
to
yet.
write.
Yeah.
That Victor moment was fun to write.
Nice. I like it.
I'm happy not to
All right.
react too hard.
Yeah, Crescent's
Yeah.
not allowed to react. That's always the rule because he's finished. Is he is not allowed to react in any manner. So, all right, we are into the lightning round questions, and just before I get into this, chat, who's just here, that's why I keep pointing there. Make sure you guys are figuring out a name, and I did see that we do have 3 bingo winners, and somebody has requested that I get confused in order to so that, and I refuse to get confused, so that person wins. But we do have there are 3 bingo winners, so congrats to them. So my question though, and I don't know if you'll have an answer because you already said you don't know the dates of birthdays, but people are wondering if there is a date of the Golden Sun Gala. Like, does it align with like Christmas, New Year's, anything like that?
There is a date. I mean, it's in March. I forget the actual day. Um, I forget the actual day, but it's in March. I mean, it's a play on the Ides of
Okay.
March. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
Nice. All right.
Next up's from me. What's Felicia's family name?
Oh man. Felicia Alfriday. Felicia Alfriday. Freitag.
Yes.
Yeah. I like it. I like it.
That was like the first cool. That was like the
Choke
first
on my
cool.
drink.
That was the first cool movie I watched when I was a younger kid. When I was like you know, like I don't know, 8 or 9 or something. I don't remember what it was. Maybe 11. I was watching that and I'm like, man, I'm cool now.
Yeah. And you're just lucky that the meme came back around when you were writing Morningstar.
The meme was hilarious because I was like, I was there watching it on VHS.
I was there when the deep magic was written.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I walked amongst gods.
All right. Did
I like
Kavix and Darrow ever go fishing? Did they catch anything or just a hangover?
Cavex probably taught some life lessons. I imagine Cavex caught like 30 fish and Darrow caught none. And then Darrow thinks like Cavex is somehow like cheating at fishing. That's what I think happens. And Cavex is like there is still magic left in the world, you know.
Would it change anything if Daryl was fishing by hand rather than fishing rod?
I imagine at some point Darrow's like fuck this and goes down with his razor and kills like 50 fish and comes right back up, like dumps them on the boat, and Cavex just shakes his head at him and says like you're wasteful or something, you know. So I imagine that, or like but then Sebro's in the back of the boat and he throws a grenade overboard and kills like 100 fish, you know.
Dynamite fishing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that's
Yeah.
the way to do it. Oh.
Hey, there is some fishing in Lightbringer. I will tell you that as a spoiler.
Oh.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
Crescent can spoil
Okay.
your smiles. Yeah. Look at him, deadpan. Regular silver over there. I love it.
He's the complimentary to Skipper's crazy, so
Yeah, I'm chaos, he's
Yeah.
calm, so it works out. If it was the opposite right now, I'd be like, "Oh my god, like, don't look at me." Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Crescent au Tranquillus.
Ooh.
No, Ag
Ag,
Ag
yeah.
Tranquillus.
We had a lot of people in the den just sort out that the name was the periodic elements.
Yeah.
That was mind blowing for a lot of people.
You won't understand how happy I was when I was writing it to like figure that out, to discover it. Like when I figured out like what do we call it? Like how do I distinguish it differently? I'm like, oh my god, the periodic table, yes. And ow sounds so good, and ag. Some of them are weird, because there's not always a corollary, so you got to find some.
Yeah.
But oh man, what a fun epiphany that was. I was just like, I'm a genius. No one's done this.
I love it.
Yeah.
All
Skipper,
right.
you're up. Your question.
Oh, I'm up. What character is your least favorite to write?
Seppi the Quiet was hard because she had so much to say, but she's supposed to be quiet. And I was like, God damn it. So I'm just like, all right, Ephraim can critique this.
Is that why you changed it, or not necessarily changed it, but made it so that quiet and wise are the same thing?
Yes. Yes. But she got the name when she was quiet. She just didn't stay quiet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's not technically inaccurate. It's just, not necessarily relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is hilarious. So that, Crescent, that's exactly what I did.
Nice.
Crescent has read the books or listened to the books, 20 times?
Oh, I don't think it's quite that many, but it's easily 10.
Oh shit, man! We
Yeah.
might have to bring you in as a continuity editor for the next one, Red God.
Man, get at me. I'm all for that.
Yeah. Do you have my email? We'll get it after this. I don't know. How do we communicate?
Yeah,
we communicate over Instagram. Best
I'll
on Instagram.
DM you on
We'll
Instagram.
do. Cool.
All right.
That might be very easy for me. That'd be nice.
There you go.
And he's already proved he's a tranquil man. So this will be good.
Oh yeah.
I'll just disappear
Chaos,
from
on the other hand,
you guys
can't
won't know
trust
why.
Skipper over there. Can't trust Skipper.
No.
That's why you're on the blacklist.
Listen. Yeah, that's the ongoing joke is in the den that I am blacklisted, and you were gonna show up and be like, "Oh, not her." But I hang out too much with Sylvain Nouvel, so that's where the issue becomes.
Sylvain. Yeah, man, Sylvain has gotten me so blackout drunk before. Sleep No More in New York. Sylvain got me so blackout drunk in Sleep No More, and I was like drinking normally because I can usually handle my booze, but holy crap, that man drinks.
Well, yeah. So me and him are good friends. I'm actually staying on at his house a week today.
Oh, cool. Tell him what up. Love him.
Yeah, he wants to do a Q&A with you as well. When I said that we were doing this, he was like,
we got to
do it. Yeah,
we got
but
to.
Salem got the privilege of coming out to drink when we were in Seattle.
Apparently, I give the best hugs ever.
Aww.
But then the next morning, a very drunk Sylvain and I went out for dinner, and we were wandering through Pike's Place, and he's like, "Last time I was here, Pierce."
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. It's the next night, and he's
Sorry to interrupt.
still hungover, and he's like, "Last time I was here, Pierce got me so drunk, and I was hungover, and was blaming it all on you." I said, I was like, and he was hungover this time, and I was like, "Well, it's your own fault this time, so I don't believe you for last time."
I thought I was, showing up to meet Michael Jordan, so I thought he could ball. He put me to shame. Like, oh my, like I threw up in a cab. I had to catch it and throw it out the window. Literally, terrible night in New York. Yeah, I was at Sleep No More. It was awful. There was like people with masks around. It was very chaotic. So I'm glad to hear he too can suffer.
Yes, I have seen him hungover many a time, so he has his limits. But we'll do a Q&A with him in which we can do full drinking if you are up to it.
Oh,
because he'll be a mess and it'll be great.
I'm down. I'll go shot for shot with that man.
I wish you luck.
Yeah, but you don't know if mine's water or not.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, next lightning round question. Does Lilith Alpharan, of course, own the mine that Dancer O'Farron is from?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Family does. Part of the reason he was pretty easy for Ares to turn. Shitty mine.
Yep. Yeah, I believe that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, she didn't get to keep the Fault name. It's way too sinister, so they kicked her back to her original name.
I like it. All right.
Which of your central characters do you know the least about?
Steffi, I think that's why she was so hard to write, if we call her central. Otherwise, I think it would be Ephraim, because he's the oldest.
Okay. Where is June the Cook during the second trilogy, or now quadrilogy?
In my canon, she got killed in some Iron Rain along the way.
Oh June!
She
got cooked.
And she got cooked. She got burned.
Oh no.
Yeah.
June also has a channel in our Discord. It's June's Kitchen.
Yeah.
A posthumous channel now.
Yeah. Tell everyone stop posting on that, please.
Yeah, in memoriam. Yeah, yeah. The in memoriam per book is just hilarious. And then there's interstitial deaths. It's a lot of characters to keep track of, and yeah, my head canon is filled with so many deaths. And so sometimes I'm surprised. Like I'll look back at the original books and I'll just be like, who haven't I killed that I can bring back? Like Proctor
Yeah,
Jupiter was fun to bring back in later on. So
I like
Cut him up the same place I did, right in the ass.
it.
Next question. Will we see any direct representation of queer relationships from POV characters in the upcoming books?
direct representation. What does that mean?
I believe Ephraim and Trig.
Oh, so Ephraim and Trig. So we already saw it.
No, so
Like relationships.
yeah, like POV characters in queer relationships. I believe is
I imagine I'll
context
keep
of the
doing
question.
it. Oh, I see. So see more of it, not like for the
Yeah,
first
see
time.
more of.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Um, Possibly. Gosh, I don't really think of it that way. I don't think I don't replace Ephraim with another uh is it declared queer character. Um, so the characters we have are the ones we have. Um, so not from a first person POV, I don't think. No, but I think that there's some mutability to sexual preference in the Red Rising world. So, without giving spoilers away, there's stuff going on behind the scenes. But no, that wasn't not the same as we had with Ephraim and Trig, though. No.
All right.
What was Nero's Institute House?
Nero was
Mhm.
Jupiter, I believe, and that goes toward his feeling of being just. I think he's a very, despite being a villain, he's a very reasonable man, and also functions according to not honor but his own sense of justice. Um, and I think that that's part of why he can be so evil is because he does believe he's just. Kind of like that line the Atlas says, "I fear a man who believes in good because he can excuse any evil." I think that Atlas doesn't believe good even exists. You know what I mean? He doesn't believe evil even exists. He believes practicality exists. Whereas um whereas Nero would probably agree with that sentiment, but believe that justice does exist.
I like it. All right. Have you developed any characters or plot lines that you decided to save for another book or series outside of Red Rising?
Oh, all the time, all the
Yeah.
time, all the time. My editors literally laugh at me and say, like, you don't have to do everything every book, because
Yeah.
I'll just squeeze everything in. Because especially when they're written over a long period of time and you're pantsing. That's why I pants though, because you get epiphanies, and every time you have an epiphany, you try to take the story in a new direction. You're very excited about it, and then you're like, "Fuck, I'm just like padding this thing out or taking away from the actual momentum of the book and the pacing." So all the time, so many. I've like book journals littered with ideas.
This is a quick one. Are Holiday and Trig just brother and sister, or are they twins?
Brother and sister. Holiday's older.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's why she's always felt very protective of him, and he acts like a baby brother, and you see their dynamic. And when he goes, Holiday becomes a lot less fun. And I think a lot of that has to do with Trig brought the fun, and Holiday was down to play game with him. But with other people, she doesn't feel the same comfort. She has, in my mind, become less kinetic on page because of that trauma, of losing her baby brother, because she was supposed to protect him.
Um, in Golden Sun, when Severus shares a drumstick with Sophocles, what does he whisper to the fox?
I'll never tell.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, fan theories go off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like if I ever do like a Severo POV book, that's something you might find out.
Would you do it like
I don't know.
spin-off, kind of?
I don't know. Severus enigmatic. I think another reason for the delay of this book is I wrote 100 pages from Severus POV and ended up not using them. They're pretty fucking cool, I think, but they didn't fit with the overall framework of what I was trying to do. He's very difficult because so much of him is the walls he builds up, and if you're inside all of a sudden, then that can ruin the magic, and I don't want to retroactively ruin the magic. So I don't know. I might from a third person, actually. I might do like a third person story of Severo. But I don't think I would do a first person.
That is it for our lightning round. Now, being cautious of time, we know you've given us an hour. We do have very quick questions, 3 of them.
Yeah, let's go through it.
It's Fuck, Marry, Kill. It is a classic game.
All right, I'm sitting there.
Pierce gets up and leaves.
Oh no, this is my jam.
Right.
I'm in.
Ready?
We played this.
Oh.
Was it Red Rising or Golden Sun during our reread?
It was Golden Sun.
And yeah,
It was
so we played it during
Golden
Golden Sun, and they had so much fun with it. So
Yeah. So it has become a Den favorite game.
I should have had more tequila.
Yeah. All right. Mustang, Victra, EO. And of course, the kill is not just because you killed them in the book, but Mustang, Victra, EO.
Fuck Victor, marry Mustang, kill Leo.
That's
but I feel like that's predictable,
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I actually
Daros-
have an open
Sorry,
relationship with an open marriage with Mustang because
Oh, spicy.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Hey, do we have to tag this Rose Garden chat now?
Why are you talking about pegging? You don't know what Victor and I get up to.
All right.
Yeah.
We really pegged that relationship. All right. Darrow, Severo, Ephraim.
Kill Severo. Oh no. Fuck Darrow. Marry Ephraim. Kill Severo. Yeah, Ephraim and I are gonna have a great time. We're gonna see the world. We're gonna go on like pleasure cruises. We're going to gamble. We're gonna have a great time.
So you're
Darrow
saying
is so hard to be married to, but
he has the Helldiver hands. So
yeah, and I just he has hence why I chose fuck him. Severo. I'm really big about people being clean, and I just don't know if I'd be able to get over it. My sense of smell.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's true.
Like I don't have very good eyesight, don't have very good hearing, but my sense of smell is very acute, and I would struggle with that. So
yeah, entirely fair.
It would be painless. It'd be a painless death, my friends. Severo would die painlessly. You would never know what happened. I would snap my fingers like Thanos, and he'd be gone.
And he's gone.
Yeah, he's the power.
No pain. Yeah. No pain. He's in the veil. He's in the veil, shagging sheep. He's good. Yeah.
Okay, last one is Clown, Pebble, or Screwface.
Okay. Marry Clown. No. Marry Pebble. Fuck Screwface. Kill Clown.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Screwface has some, you get to learn a bit more about Screwface in this one. Minor spoiler. And he's got some. I think he's got some passion in him. Not to mention, in order to infiltrate the Ash Legions, he had some body modification done. He's a pretty good-looking dude now. Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right.
Clown would just crack jokes, and so I couldn't fuck him because there would be. I just feel confidence issues afterwards, and it'd be really depressing. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, what if he said something so ironic? And didn't mean it, but I carried that around for 20 years, and it really affected my self-confidence. I couldn't take that, so he has to go.
Yeah.
Pebble, steady, calm, even. Love Pebble.
Nice.
The one thing that chat is wanting to know is what is it with hands and arms getting cut off?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's a practicality issue, to be honest. Have you guys ever been in a sword fight, like, screw down swords with your friends?
Yeah.
It's your arms that get hit.
Yeah.
So it is
Fair.
realistic. It is what happens. It's because they extend out from your body. Your legs are your central axis. They're harder to reach. And also if you take off a leg, then all of a sudden you have a mobility issue. And then all of a sudden you have a logistics issue with how do you get them out if they survive. So practicality from the writing standpoint, and also what happens with reality. And they're replaceable, but they're also painful, and it's also declarative. Plus you lose your head. Well, can't do much for you, right? I also take eyes. I take ears. I take everything you can take. I've taken noses. I've taken ears. I've taken teeth. I've taken eyes. I think I've taken.
You're taking a lot of eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of, how many eyes does Severo have in his collection?
Oh man, by now, who knows? He would never tell. It's in his creepy little apartment. You'd have to really get through some traps to find out. Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't get the set from Pliny, or he did actually. Yeah, he got the set.
He did.
I was gonna say, he definitely would have stayed in that room.
Oh yeah, I think he did, didn't he? Did I write that? Did he stay in that room?
She gave it to him.
She gave him the first one.
She gave him the first one.
Then he said,
but Darrow doesn't turn back because he knows how razors sound when they kill, and that's it.
That's it. You see, that's when I talked to you guys earlier about things I wrote in that didn't make it in the final drafts because there's so many permutations. I think there was like one where Severo slipped into the room, like behind it, but it doesn't end as declaratively. You know what I mean? So you have to have that chapter out. So it's like sometimes you have to sacrifice those cute moments. But yeah, he's definitely snuck back in for sure.
I like it. All right. Well, that is all our questions.
Did the chat come up with a name?
Oh yeah.
Well,
what's up, guys?
Yeah, we'll have to wait on
halfway through because they went back to Bard. I'm waiting. I don't know if Drillbit is kind of our official namer. If
he's our master namer.
Yeah, Drillbit and Rooftop.
The two they're saying Barbarian, but I think you're getting stuck with Barbarian.
Why mess with success? I mean, that was and I love a pun. I mean, I pummel people with puns.
Yeah,
don't say pummel people.
Yeah.
Pummel people. I pummel people with puns.
My last thing is, did you ever check your PO box? Because we sent you.
Yes, I do have it. I have it.
I have a copy as well. Yeah.
I did. It was really lovely. Thank you guys. There's 2 treasured possessions I have. One is the paperback of Red Rising that got mailed around, and everyone put their little missives in it. Were you guys part of that at all?
That's Ryan's copy, right?
Right. I believe so. Yeah.
Yes.
And so it's got 60 different howlers scrawling in it.
Yeah.
And so I have those 2 books together. Yeah. It's very special. Thank you guys. It's weird seeing 35 on
I know. Well, okay, especially because we were like, it's Uncle Nerl, and we didn't even connect it, and someone else was like offended of like the old and tired at 35, and we're like, hold on,
so old, so tired.
I know, pretty freaking bizarre. Yeah, and it's like, man, yeah, it's strange, especially like you go into COVID, and all of a sudden everything feels like it's in a time warp.
Yeah,
everything feels faster. Yeah.
The shortest, longest 3 years ever.
Right, and I'm also now older than Harrison Ford was in the first Star Wars.
Oh, don't say that.
Yeah, he was 36 in Indiana Jones, and it's very strange getting to those ages because you have these kind of like icons of whatever it is to be a man or to be a woman, and then you get to that age and you're like, holy, whoa, yeah.
What am I doing with my life?
Not flying a Millennium Falcon, yeah.
No.
It's funny,
With
but
that
thank you guys for setting that. That attitude. But thank you guys. Very considerate of you, and it's fun getting to join these little groups. Especially, I did the Sons of Ares Discord as well, and want to do your guys's. It's what makes the books feel more real. Yeah, I say this metaphor, or maybe an analogy all the time. As when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was build forts in the woods and then drag my friends to go play. And the more friends I had, the more real it felt. Either playing Lord of the Rings or Medieval Siege or whatever. And that's how these books feel. And that's how I feel like in some ways I'm a fan of them as well, because we each hold them in our heads, and then it makes it it's kind of like it's how religion starts, but it's getting to go to that special little world together. And I really appreciate your guys' interest and love of the books, and so fun to see your own community spring up from it.
Well, thank you for writing them and
Yeah.
making this community happen. It's
My
amazing.
pleasure.
Yeah,
My
we wouldn't
pleasure.
have made these friendships without your writing. So
No.
It's so cool, isn't it? You know?
Well, yeah, like to tag on, like, so I know the Twitter group and then into here. So my best friend is because of Red Rising. Living in Chicago, I'm Toronto, right? Like I travel all
Mhm.
around. Just saw Carrie, who accidentally drank your beer one time in
Oh my
Boston.
god,
Like,
I remember that. Yeah, I was like so deep into like the tour, trying not to get sick. She drank my beer, and I'm like, "Arr."
yeah, she retells it that you were a bad pour, but anyway, and now I've met Salem, I've met Crescent, and just the real life uh friends that are coming out of this is just absolutely amazing. Sylvan is only because you blurbed his book and is now one of
Oh,
my
no
good friends.
kidding.
Like,
That's so
yeah,
fun. I
yeah,
love it. I love it how people come together.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool. Well,
So
thank you
thank
guys
you
for
very
having
much for
me.
doing
Thank
that.
you,
Yeah,
yeah,
everyone else. I
thank
didn't
you
get
for coming
to.
on.
Yeah, I didn't get to see
they're
your
all
chat.
thanking you so much.
Yeah,
It will be live
some of them are
on YouTube
crying.
if you ever want to watch yourself back. Yeah, there is some. He's gonna make us cry. Yeah,
Yeah,
everyone is
yeah. In
freaking
this
out.
next
Thank
book, I
you.
will. Yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, guys, love you. See you.
Yeah,
Hail Reaper.
Hail Reaper.
Hail Reaper.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
How do I turn it off? It's hidden
At the
somewhere.
bottom, there's a red button.
There's a
Get
red
out of
button.
here.
Big red button.
Oh, it'd be so
President
I'm
weird
gonna
will
just
turn out
fade
to
us to
be-
black.
if I
I
didn't
was
know
gonna
it
say
was
fade us
off.
to
What am
black,
I
fade
up
us to
to?
obsidian.
Yeah.